Yo, what's good, boys? We are back at it again with another MLB The Show 25 video for you guys, and today we are doing more team reviews. So, number one comment is always, how do I get in these? You would have to go to the description under the video. There's a link to join the Discord, and that is how you submit your teams if you want to be in the next episode of this. And yeah, so let's hop into it. I'll show you guys my team because that's another common thing that I get is what's my actual lineup look like right now. And then I get a lot of bots that are like, oh, so all switch hitters. Yeah, so we'll probably just make this now instead of like doing the best team in the game video or whatever like that. We'll still do theme teams. I probably do need to update some theme teams, but this is what I'm running. So I hate every first baseman in the game. Other than that, love the lineup. Chipper is here. You know, if you want to like DH Kyle Schwarber, I think there's nothing wrong with that. He's basically perfect. Yeah, it's really first base. First base, I hate every first baseman. Like, this card doesn't even look like a 99 overall. Kurt's gonna have to lefty all the time. Gil Hodges is still acceptable, I guess. This Salvi would be a little interesting if he wasn't miserable against lefties. And then you've got Ted Simmons, Cool Papa Bell, and Dick Allen, who are like almost all the same player. And then you've got Bellinger, who you could still be running. So first base is fairly weak at the moment. Cool Papa, I think, actually might have the best swing out of all of them. And he's a switch hitter. It's just the power is not great. So I think the comp pick would probably be Ted Simmons at first base. But that's the lineup. I am still using Griffey because it's Griffey. I want to use him. I think in terms of like lefties that hit lefties well, Griffey's always at the top of the list, so I don't really mind running him. This is the starting staff right now. Really no complaints. Leiter, still a dog. Corbin Burns is hit or miss. And then CC, for everybody in my comments calling him BP every moment. 13 innings of, what, 6 hits, I think he's given up, something like that. Has not missed a lot of bats, I will grant you that. But, you know, a .69 ERA against decent players, can't really argue with. Screwball, still like. Clemens, still like. Kershaw, I'm done with. He has an 11 ERA. I'm good on him. I'm good on Kershaw at this point. Other than that, like Roy Halladay, if you're on a high difficulty, Crochet, I just don't see it with. Starting pitching is pretty disgusting right now. Like, I need to do the top 50 video. That'll probably be what you guys see tomorrow. Just a little tier listed out at the moment, but I don't know if I'll include a single pitcher on the top 50. We might just do only position players. Bullpen wise, like Billy Wagner, still kind of like Strom. John Franco, I think, is good enough for his boost that he provides, and I think he's not the easiest thing in the world to hit still. Rob Nen, great splitter guy, same as like Felix Bautista, Maury Hahn. And then we've got our Mets guys. We got this Ryan Helsley, who has a cutter. I wish it was a little slower, but I think it's still pretty good. And then we have Gregory Soto, who somebody say had bugged outlier. It's on the sinker, so you know, no outlier on a sinker really works. I think if you get some parallels on him, like, he could be a guy that throws like 98-mile-an-hour sinkers more times than not, which is pretty valuable. So that is my squad. I will transport you guys to the Discord. All right, so here we are. And our first submission is Ortho. So we'll probably be pretty quick with this because I'm sure he'll have the best team in the game. Bro likes to troll. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's some guys that are definitely like behind the curve now, like Mickey, Bergman, maybe even Bautista just because he's a righty. But like, yeah, no, if you hit with them, there's nothing wrong with them. They're still basically 9 overalls. Griffey lead off. Usual suspects. Didn't you say you're hitting 400 with Mickey and he's batting 8th? Is interesting, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, he's still running John, still seems to enjoy him. Brock Stewart, I don't think is super great. Probably would replace him. All right, so we got Kaden here. Manny platoon with Ted or Kyle. Interesting. So he's actually putting Schwarber in the outfield. No, DH. Don't have Correa, probably wouldn't use him. 150K. Okay, so somebody with a budget that actually could go out and get certain cards. I mean, I hope you didn't lock in Manny for Jose, and you could just sell him back like anytime before the next weekend league, and there you go, profit. Um, yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, the only like top tier card you don't have is like DeVry, and I don't know where you would play him. Unless you want to like do Cattell to DH or like out of position at third and do something like that. So lineup wise, I kind of just say to chill. Let's see if the starting staff needs any work. I mean, I like the starters. Rogers is interesting. Like you gotta, I don't know. I could put him in my bullpen, but if I'm not gonna get tier 2 of the Mets boost, then I think what you need to go do is run the showdown to get Helsley, because I think he's just less volatile and like, you know, still Mets. I don't really know why you have so many Mets. I feel like you might as well be running the Mets boost. You might as well throw John Franco in here for like Chapman or somebody. Like I wouldn't say all of these lefties are super strong, right? Like you could easily throw in like a Franco for like a Chapman or like an Andrew Miller and be running the Mets boost, and you'd be boosting Beltran half, like what, lighter, and like half your bullpen. So I would probably just do that and save your stubs for the most part. All right, so we got Bob. So somebody that I'm not familiar with their game. So here we go. First actual one, 6 minutes in. 500, 100K stubs. Interesting. For investments. All right. So he's counting this stubs. Pretty far away from Beltran, so no Beltran. Interesting. Love Freddie. Oh God, it's gonna be Freddie Freeman, isn't it? Okay. I forgot that he did get the All-Star card, so at least there's a halfway acceptable version of Freddie Freeman for people to run. So, Jackson Churio, I think, is kind of crazy, but maybe not the worst thing in the world. Sandberg. I think without knowing your averages and stuff, that like Acuna and probably Adames are some of your weak points. Something worth maybe thinking about is, you know, maybe the new threads Leo DeVry, and then that will get you Correa. I would rather run Correa. I think Correa has a better swing than Adames. So if you're not hitting great with Adames, I'd probably rather do Correa at third base. He did send his lineup structure. Depends on if like you change some of these cards or not. Yeah, like Acuna bat ninth is kind of crazy. Saying you hit really well with Freddie Freeman and then batting him ninth or eighth is kind of crazy. I'd like to have some switch hitters up here, like especially in this 2 spot. Like you would have to hit significantly worse with Ellie than Adames for me to want to bat Adames second. Because you could have 99 speed here and 99 speed and the switch hitter, so you don't hit in the double plays. Okay, so he said bench is just like club legends. Not probably the way I would go about doing that, but to each their own. Running Kluber, interesting. He's a boss, right? Not a weekend classic, so I mean, yeah, he could go in your bullpen. I think you would just want to be on higher difficulty. I think you said you're 500 rated, so you're not even on Hall of Fame. So him and Kershaw. For some reason, Kershaw performs for players on lower difficulty. I don't know why. I guess people just swing at the curveball in the dirt too much. But Kluber, I don't see it with it all. If you're not on Legend, I don't think Kluber's good. Bullpen wise, dude, this will wake you up. Dude, hop on your PC and pull this up first thing in the morning. Your eyeballs will, you know what, actually, let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, so Rogers, I think Rogers will be legitimate BP for you at where you're at. I think I want just pure outlaw guys like a Ben Joyce in here or somebody like that. Like you've gotten good use out of Chapman already, like to already have this card super fractured. Gagne, yeah, I would just go full outlier. Nin's pretty good. Did you mention your stubs? Felix Bautista might be worth, you know, it's a small dent. If you just want to save up everything for Beltran, I understand that and it wouldn't be bad. But You could also go new threads, and that would get you a new second baseman, new third baseman. And then you could throw a little bit towards Felix. I don't imagine he is an insane amount at this point. And I'm not even gonna do team ratings at this point because it's too tough and it's too subjective for like, just use the cards you perform well with. They're all 99s at this point. How are we? We're tired. We just woke up. Usually a 700, 850 player. Okay, interesting. DH in first base. Well, you kind of got your recommendation with my lineup. Yeah, fair enough. Everything, no lies, we're told. So you said you need help at DH, really? I think your help at DH is, I mean, dude, you got options on the options, like Chipper, dog, Jose, dog, Ellie De La Cruz, dog. You could just platoon, like, start Schwarber. If it's a lefty, you put in Caminero and just thug it out with him. Or you could even, like, triple switch your DH and have, like, another guy, or just, like, a switch hitter like Ellie. So, I mean, I don't think you got problems at all. I think, you could literally just change this, right? You could be starting Schwarber. If it's not a lefty, Caminero. If they double switch you, Chipper Jones. There you go. And for me, I'd rather use Ellie than J-Ram. I've done better with him, but that's up to you. So lineup-wise, definitely not bad. Let's see what we got. Structure. I'd probably flip Marte and Raleigh. That's just me, though. If you hit really good with the Raleigh, then I'd leave it. But it's not bad. It's one of the more sound lineup structures I think I've seen in a minute. Starting staff, dogs. Like, I mean, what? That's literally mine, except, like, I think I'm just done with John at this point. It's more of a fatigue thing. He's probably still got my best stats for the year. Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to get rocked. If you can consistently get back to Hall of Fame, like, Kluber, somebody like that wouldn't be the end of the world, but they're not going to be good either. Munoz, I think, sucks. Robert Suarez sucks a little less, but still sucks. Taylor, I haven't seen a lot of. I've done the showdown, and the CPU's thrown me, random pitches with him, but I haven't actually utilized him yet. So I need to just kind of hop in the lab and see how decent he's looking. I think he would be a Danny replacement, right? If he's perfect, if he's what I think he is, he's a Danny replacement, but I don't really know yet. So not bad. I mean, there's some stuff you can think about doing, but we got Nike, I guess is how I'm going to pronounce that. We got no comms. So no comms. Let's see. It's fine. Like, if you're not going to tell me what you're struggling with, then I see, okay, Dustin May out of there. Ain't no way. Boy, ain't no way. Class A, probably trash, depending on your difficulty. Robert Suarez, super trash. So that's what I would change. German Bean. All right. Streams in the tier list. Yeah, that's pretty much the channel at this point. First year playing rank, so bro took the dive. You would be shocked how many players play just offline for like a year or multiple years, and they just like are scared to play ranked. That's why like events dying really sucks, because there's just no outlet for people like that. It's either ranked or you're playing offline. Currently around 500, 90,000 stubs, trying to get Beltron. Working on a CC program. Okay. All right. So 500, so All-Star. So I probably would not be running Go Hodges on All-Star, but you're boosting him. So you have the Dodgers captain. I'm going to assume it's Trinan. Although they might have got a pitcher. I forget. I mean, the lineup seems fine. Like, I don't know if Ted and left would be my exact choice, but I mean, let's be real. On All-Star, the lineup is almost never going to be what's holding you back. It's just all going to be a skill issue and just you gotta pitch better and pitch more for your difficulty. Like not having Kershaw. You know, maybe he has a 1 ERA for you, but I would bet the average like all-star player's experience with Kershaw is probably 10 games where they just play somebody terrible and the guy can't hit him at all. And then one game where he gives up like 8 runs through 4 innings and you either just lose based on that or you quit or, you know, you just give up. Like, I would imagine that's the average Kershaw experience. And that's why everybody has like low ERAs with him. Upgrade Screwball. Again, Kluber for your difficulty. Not going to be great. I would just try to get some more outlier guys in there probably. Rogers, don't know how great either Rogers will be on your difficulty. Probably just more outlier guys. I don't like Trinan, but like, you know, if you want to run the boost for Gil and Will, then it's no different than like me running John Franco. Like Franco's by no means awesome at this point. And it's not really worth you running Franco because you don't have Beltran yet. Oh my God. I just realized you have Lance Bergman in center field. I saw like the prime and the superfractor and I was willing to let it slide. I don't know who I thought it was, but dog. Oh my God. Like, what park do you play at most of the time? That's insane. Yeah, we gotta do something about that. We gotta do something. Hold up. All right, here we are on our sponsor showdown or affiliate, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Positions. Well, I want to do primary and secondary is the thing, but let's just do all outfielders because, you know, you can play anybody in center field. Clearly, we have Lance Bergman out there. This Jarren Duran Spotlight, I think he's a free card. There you go. Have fun with that. Derby Byron Buxton would probably be better than Lance Bergman out there. Like, that's insane. This Willie Castro would no troll be better just because of speed and reaction, I think, are better. This Jackson Churio you get for doing like half of the Griffey cards. Like, you should get him for free just based on like doing the program. This Cedric Mullins, I don't think is too tough to get. Yeah, he's the program reward. He would be better, probably. I feel like I made my point. There's probably a million other center fielders you could do. I don't even think, yeah, that would give you 2 lefties if you did a lefty, so it wouldn't even be the end of the world. Plus, you're on All-Star, so just got hit at some point. Like, if I was on All-Star, like, y'all give me so much flack for, like, not wanting to hit lefty-lefty. Dog, if I was on All-Star, I'd be, yeah, I could have 8 of them. You know, we can run Schwarber, Bellinger, Ken Griffey, Ted Williams, Juan Soto. We can run them all. Like, it's really just when you're on higher difficulties and people actually punish it and you have to be better. Aiden, 600, 700. 0 stubs. Bro went all out for Castro. All right, so there's not too much I can do when you have no budget, but we'll see. This is probably the worst way to run this outfield. I would probably put Griffey in center, put Beltran in right, and then the only guy with subpar fielding would be Cedric Mullins, who you said you are platooning, right? Mullins and Acuna. So that's why you have him in right field, but you can still put him in left and then just double switch, like switch the player and change their position. Brooks Lee in the big 25. Did not think I'd be seeing that today. Million other third baseman. I would probably, I mean, Chipper's just better for, like, you know, pretty much free. Like, I don't think it's too hard to get 10K on the game right now. There's also the free Ellie. There's J. Using Brooks Lee over J Ram is something. Like, you gotta have some bias there, I would say. I would like for y'all to be a little more financially literate. I ain't gonna lie. Like, going to 0 stubs because, like, you, like, went all out for Willie Castro. Like, you know, you could have grinded some of the old New Threads packs. You could have like I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't have went to 0 for a card that's kind of bad, you know, 5th, and just, you know, probably be no real different than Kyle Schwarber or Lindor in that spot. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Maddox. Yeah, I mean, Maddox, Kluber, and Kershaw, I think you'd probably want to be on a higher difficulty to really get the most out of. Mason Miller's genuine trash. He is terrible. So let's go ahead and just get him out. Other than that, like it's a bunch of guys I probably wouldn't use. Like I probably wouldn't use Munoz. I'd be on the fence. I don't know about Tyler Rogers. I'm kind of regretting ranking him where I did because I just don't think enough of y'all are gonna like be dirtbag enough to pitch him how you're gonna have to pitch him for him to actually be worth his weight. Not a ton of suggestions when you don't have a budget. Gideon, I believe we've done him before. 750-ish. Let's see. Madden just came out. Weekend Classic, yeah. All right, let's see. So he will be on Legend. This is gonna be assuming that he is on Legend. All right. So we got some parameters to sort with. Did we get budget? We did not get a budget, but I'm gonna assume he's probably got some subs to play with, judging by the team. Looks pretty good. Like, you know, like everybody else, first base is kind of tough right now. Having this Manny on the bench is crazy. Unless you have Jose Bautista, he should not be locked in. So I'd be moving off of him before the next Weekend Classic comes up. And I'm a big fan of just playing Griffey in center and Beltran in right. Like Griffey, when you get him super fractured, is going to be close to the fielder Beltran's gonna be, and you're not gonna have one of them out of position where they may just drop a ball. So I prefer that. Other than that, like it's fine. I'm gonna guess you're probably platooning Manny with Schwarber, which I think Manny's stats are like either worse against lefties or like not that great. Like I don't know. So I don't know if he's the perfect platoon, but I get the idea. Yeah, I mean, out of your starting lineup, like the only guy I'm really not a fan of, like Ted Simmons, obviously, but there's no other good answer. Is J-Ram. I don't want to be running J-Ram at this point, but that's just me. And then, you know, maybe sell this Rollins and try out DeVry and see if you like him more, because a lot of people have been going crazy over at Leo, and I think his swing is pretty nice. A lot of people are saying it's like one of the best in the game. I don't know about that, but it's decent. For Legend, yeah, it's fine. I don't know how dominant CC can be on Legend. Whereas like Burns has way more like potential to dominate, but he also might just get lit up. And then Kershaw, I've made my Kershaw opinion known. Rogers is gonna be interesting. Do like Helsley. I guess you're running Mets, is what it seems like. So yeah, I mean, you can try out Rogers. If you don't like him, I'd get him out of there, because I don't think you need him. I think you could just put like Juan Soto on your bench instead of like Ted Williams, and you'd still have the Mets boost. So I would think about that. DGY, Hall of Fame difficulty, and then he quoted with Stubbs that he cannot get out of without losing money on right now. So I wouldn't even necessarily say that. It's like going to buy a home, and they're like, "Well, what you got right now?" And you're like, "Oh, well, I got these vintage cars I own." Like, yeah, man. I'm sure that'll turn out great. George Brett, okay, so bro went out, so he's got some stubs. He's got some stubs because he went out and got George Brett. George Brett at first base is interesting. I think if you don't have a lot of lefties, which he's already got Griffey, which would only be 2, which I think is fine. If you don't have a lot of lefties, George Brett might be that solution for first base, but is he even better than Cool Papa Bell? Like, actually, like both of them have like no power, so I don't know. I don't know. First base is tough right now. I don't even know who we could get really that would fix it. But back on track. Again, I like Griffey in center. Maybe if you want to postpone it until you get him super fractured, I get it. Getting him super fractured, I think I would prefer to swap them. Maybe there's some like method to the madness where like Beltran's reaction and stuff is already super high. So like there's no upside to playing him in a secondary, whereas like Griffey, you could get him high enough if that makes sense, but I don't know. Willian left. I mean, the only guys I'm not a fan of is like Ted Simmons and Brett. But there's not like awesome solutions to either of them. So we're going backwards for this one. I like it. I think Brock Stewart sucks. I think Griffin Jack sucks. I think Yohan Duran sucks. So I lied. I don't like it, actually. I did not see all these names. I saw like Soto, Rogers, like the usual suspects. Yeah, I think a lot of these guys are trash. I ain't gonna lie. So I'd probably filter them out. I'm sure you have a good amount of the older cards, is what it seems like. Screwball, Crochet, usual suspects. For Hall of Fame, I don't hate this rotation. It's probably not exactly what I would run for being on Hall of Fame, but it's not bad. Let's see, bench. Bro, I hate when people have the bench. I really do. I hate the bench screenshot. Because it's like, unless you're talking about platooning or something. Bro's investing in Don Rafaela. That's crazy. Alright, so we got Bipo's World. So we will fly through this. Yeah, shout out to Game Pass, man. Okay. Uh, Pinpoint practice. Yeah, how much you really need to practice fastball, right? Just straight up, straight down. Cadence is like more or less the same with everybody too. Well, I don't know. Beat Milner's crazy. Okay. Yeah, so I did read over this earlier, and it tilted me a little bit. That's crazy. Yeah, I never have recommended GameSir ever. I recommended PowerA Fusion because it actually is an Xbox controller. I may have mentioned that GameSir works, but I've never recommended a GameSir. I don't. It's like a Nintendo controller. They're like that big. Like I don't like a small controller. Okay, interesting. So we got maybe too many comms here for once. But that's a good problem to have. All right, let's see. Mark McGwire's trash. So I'll say that right now. Like honestly, if you are contemplating getting Willie Castro, a card I can guarantee you will be good, and you're running Mark McGwire at first base, please do not have him locked in. Do not tell me you're one of these guys that go out and buy the cards and just lock them in, like without even getting the collection reward. Like, there's people out there that do that. I don't know why they do it, but just go sell Mark McGwire. Like, Gil Hodges is probably better than Mark McGwire. Cody Bellinger would probably be better than Mark McGwire. There's Ted Simmons, who's not even on your team, who's like basically a free card in the XP path. You got options. There's people that will help you. You just have to reach out. So no Mark McGwire. Get him gone. And then you can get Willie Castro. Like, if you want to run Griffey in center, Beltran in right, Castro in left, that's what I'm doing. That's probably what I would go about. Starting rotation. So this is, I believe you say he's Hall of Fame, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Hall of Fame. Don't hate it for Hall of Fame. I think Randy's just too unreliable and you can't throw strikes with him. So I'm good on him. I think Tyler Rogers is probably going to be bad for you. Just an intuition. I mean, other than that, bullpen's pretty good. Like, I don't really know who you'd cycle him out for. Probably another lefty or something, but it's not the end of the world. And then we got lineup structure. So he did stress that he may need help with the lineup structure. So assuming you swap Acuna for Willie, and that, Mark McGwire will just stay like 8th or 9th probably. Let's see. I would do Rollins and then do Willie Castro here. Beltran still stays in 3rd. I would probably move Marte up 1 so you're not, you don't have like a single, a ground out, a single, and you have 1st and 3rd with like, an out or 2, and the inning is in the balance, and Kyle Schwarber's up to lefty off John Donaldson. So I would just swap those two personally. Other than that, I feel like you're fine. It's not too many like bad ways to structure it at this point. So interesting team. Gecko. I believe we've done Gecko before. I think I remember that name. 500 rated. Dude, a lot of 500. A lot of all-star players tonight, huh? All right. Let's see. All right. So he just got Beltran, just got Willie Castro. He's running Mets. He says Lindor and Brooks aren't the best, but they play well. Well, I got news for you. If you're on All-Star, I feel like about everybody can play well for you. So that's not the greatest defense. Lindor with the Mets boost, that's just a good card. Brooksley, I would not be running. I don't know if you could pay me to play. Dude, we got 6 screenshots here. Bench screenshot. Oh. All right, here we go. At least part of that was to show off he's running the Mets boost, but I figured it out. Nate Pearson, there we go. That's a good name that has slipped my mind for all my all-star players out there. He'd be great on all-star. Most of his rotation's fine. Like, Leiter's probably pretty bad on all-star, and Kershaw should not be good on all-star. Robleski's probably terrible. Mason Miller, I wouldn't be running. Rogers, I probably wouldn't be running. Maybe, like, I just feel like Rogers on the All-Star is not going to be good for you. Like, just not. I don't think so. You might find one guy that, I don't know. I think he'll be a headache to even pitch with. Because, like, you'll just, first at bat of the inning, you'll just throw him nothing but low, like, change-ups and stuff. And he'll swing at every one of them. And then he's going to put his controller down. And you're going to play this mental game of where you can throw the 80-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike and him not hit it. Like, I'm good on that. I'll be, like, Kyle Schwarber 9th to be your DH is crazy. Like, your DH should be one of the best hitters on your team, should be somebody who you're itching to come up with, like, tie game in the top of the 9th, like, or bottom of the 9th. You want him up to bat, like, and you're batting him 9th. So I would probably go a different direction for DH, I'll be honest. And then Brooksley, like, who invited bro. And then, I know you're running Franco, trust me. All right, so solid enough. I'd get Brooksley out of there, and then I would seriously reevaluate your DH spot. Because, Schwarber probably is the best lefty DH in the game. I don't think I'd be using him to clog up the base pass and do all this other stuff if you're batting him 9th. So we got Tay, 2nd season of hitting legend. Congrats, bros, hit it. Not more times in a row than me, but more recently than me. Is Leo worth starting over Ellie? Well, you did not include your coin stack, so I can't really weigh that. Like, if you're sitting on like a mil, I guess, right? Just because the stats are better. What I would probably do, I like both of them. I'd probably just play like DeVries at short and Ellie at 3rd. Is probably what I would do personally. But if you need the stubs, if you're hurting for stubs, like, they're gonna be close enough to each other to where it's not gonna be the end of the world. Sell him and save up for Jimmy? Absolutely not. I think his swing is low-key better than Rollins. I think The only thing you can say about Rollins is he's faster and he's got better quirks. But other than that, Leo's just better. He also actually has secondaries, so he's versatile. You can move him in the future if there's a new shortstop you want to run. So I do like that. Can't hit with Bautista. I've been running Correa. Like I said, you can just start Leo and put Ellie at third. Like platooning Griffey to avoid lefty. What with? I don't know how much I love that. Like Acuna for Griffey, like the value's just not really there. You know, you're subbing out like one of the best bats in the game for like a guy that's like replacement level and just a free card that they handed out to everybody. I would maybe consider running like, you don't have to, you can leave it like this, but if you want to sub out Griffey, what I would probably do is swap him with Castro outfield wise and then put Dick Allen in. So you would have Dick Allen in left and you'd have Willie Castro in the secondary right field. And that would not only give you a better hitter against lefties for when you do pinch it, but I think your outfield would be a little better with that. Let's see what else we got. So we got lineup structure. So Ellie's batting ninth. You must not hit that well with him. That's probably what I would do if I were you. Yeah, I'd probably just, I mean, if you like J-Ram, maybe run him at third and just play Leo over Ellie. I mean, I don't know. But I wouldn't act like Jimmy's just straight up better than DeVry. Let's see, what else we got? I mean, for a legend pitching staff, it's not bad. I don't know if it's ideal. Bobby Suarez, I don't love. And then everybody else is fine. Like, I'm going to assume since you're legend, you kind of know how to be a scumbag with Rogers. So I don't really mind it. Zoe Kravitz's feet. Hell yeah. Big L. Okay, so I know who this is now. The IRL coaching. Hell yeah. Okay, a lot of PSs, a lot of added stuff. I mean, lineup wise, the usual suspects. Kaiser says so. Let's see. J-Roll. I already don't love your order. I'd switch Beltran and Castro. Back to back? Are you platooning though? Did he say anything? No. Are you platooning though? I'm gonna assume you're platooning them, so you'd probably leave Griffey and do Schwarber, right? Just pull Schwarber. I guess. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. Can't argue with that. And can't argue with that. Another guy added Rogers. I'm terrified to pitch him. I think he can be good, but I think it's gonna take you really focusing on your pinpoint. I don't know. Okay, so he did say Buxton for Schwarber. So yeah, it's never back-to-back lefties, so that's fine, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't know if I would change that much. All right, here we go. First year player, Darwizzi. I think we've done him before, or he's been in the Discord before. 650, 700 sometimes, 500. Okay, so he's got money to play with. Don't love Acuna. Probably don't love Hodges at this point. Well, here you go. Here's a super easy solution for you. Raleigh to catcher. Ted Simmons to first base, and then you have DH free. DH is the easiest spot to find somebody. It's anybody you hit well with. So, and you don't have to worry about them playing the field, and you don't have to worry about platooning because you can do anybody for anybody. So, I'd probably free up your DH slot is what I would do because I don't think Gill's like awesome at this point of the year. And then like I said, I don't love Acuna. I think it's fine. You're batting him leadoff, but he's also only one parallel, so I don't know if you really hit that crazy with him. Don't love Chris Sale. Think you said you're Hall of Fame? Yeah, so you're 600. I believe that's Hall of Fame. I don't think Hall of Fame starts at 7. I'm always confused. Yeah, no, Hall of Fame does start at 700 because I remember, like, if you lose that first game after ranked reset, it's terrible. Bullpen's not bad. Another Rogers. Again, I don't know if he should be this widespread because I question y'all's ability to be pieces of human garbage with him. But interesting enough, lineup structure's fine. Like, there's really nothing to it. It's just all switch hitters. Hind Dog. So we got a new player here. 700, 750. Trying to get comfortable on Hoff. Okay, so he's getting Castro. All right, interesting. Yeah, I mean, Willie Castro is better than either of these, right? So, do you want the switch hitter? Do you want the better hitter with just better quirks? So, I would probably leave Buxton out here and go for Castro. And then, I don't mind your infield. Again, like, I'm not the biggest J-Ram fan, but it is what it is. And then, Ellie is getting outdated, but I can't just sit here and tell you he's a bad option at this point. So he said he knew how I felt about Sale, does not know how I feel about Griffin Jacks, apparently, because I think that's more of a red flag. He just sucks. He doesn't do anything great, honestly, in my opinion. I think he's just readable. He's just like a Robert Suarez. Who's the other Padres guy? Jason Adam, Ben Joyce, or I feel like the ball is like being underhanded to you. Like, it's very obvious what pitch it is. So I don't love him for that reason. Let's see. And also, yeah, I mean, you struggle with pinpoint, getting the lab would be my information for that. Because pinpoint should not throw you off of a pitcher. Like, unless you're using Scooball or Kershaw or one of these other, like, glitched ones, it shouldn't throw you off. Like, Lighters is normal, Crochet's normal, Rogers normal. Like, if you want to defend your Sale selection, it would be that he's been really good for you, not that you're better with the pinpoint. Let's see. Lineup wise, what we got? So he's got, I guess if you have multiple slow guys, I don't hate like 3 and 4. What I would do is bat Beltran third, Marte second, and push these slower guys down, is what I would do. But pretty solid team. Luca, Hall of Fame and legend. All right. All right, 150K has most cards. Cool. W Outfield, finally. Somebody doing it. I think there is a point of diminishing returns. Like, I think, you kind of need Griffey to be super fractured for this to be the best way to run your outfield. So maybe until that point you flip them, but it's also like double PXP. So, running Correa because he doesn't know what to do at shortstop. I mean, I still like Ellie. DeVries is there for like 100K. Some people are swearing by him, like best card they used all year. So if you're not actively doing something with that 100K, I'd probably do that because a lot of people are swearing by him. When I've used him, he's been okay. Nothing insane. Structure wise, yeah, can't really go wrong with it. I would probably split your lefties up more because you have such a quality bat here. And in theories, the same lefty could pitch to Griffey and Williams in the same inning. So I'd probably just split them up a little bit more than what they are. Buchholz. First time seeing Buchholz. I mean, on Legend, I don't hate it. Hall of Fame, I think he would be genuinely BP. And I kind of question if he'd even be that good on Legend. But I'd probably prefer CC or just one of these lefties. But it's not the end of the world. And then bullpen's pretty good. Bullpen's pretty good. Again, Darren O'Day, probably a guy where I'd like to see you on Legend to be using. I wouldn't. Now, if you were on Hall of Fame, I would just take him out until you're back on Legend. But super solid. We got Brock here. Hall of Fame player, need bullpen help. All right. Doesn't know about Correa. I don't know if anybody knows about Correa, but I doubt he's going to be better than Chipper for you. I like Simmons over Gil Hodges, me personally. And then, yeah, I mean, just pretty good all-around team. Lineup wise, I don't hate that structure. That's fine because you don't, unless you're gonna bat like Ellie leadoff, who I don't know if you're super comfortable with, or like bat Griffey leadoff, and a lefty for leadoff's kind of nasty work. So I get it. Again, I'd probably split your lefties up a little more, unless you are platooning Schwarber, which I mean you could be, but like Acuna is not a great platoon for him, so I don't know if you are. Like the rotation, it's fine. Bullpen wise, I think you said your bullpen sucks. Probably need bullpen help. Again, I don't know if you are willing to go to the lengths that is required to use Tyler Rogers effectively online. I don't know if you're that scummy of a human being to just actually throw a sinker in a corner every single pitch. But if you are, then he's good. If you're not and want to pitch with a brain, I'd probably go different directions. But, I mean, I was expecting a way worse bullpen than that. The Rizzler. Dude, the Rizzler's in the Discord? Oh, my Lord. All right, let's see. Oh, this is crazy. These are all the submissions after I went live and said, like, you know, team review tomorrow. Like, I thought I could get back some more. All right, so he's Hall of Fame. The long-winded way of saying Hall of Fame. And he wants a crochet suggestion. Interesting. Okay. I don't hate it. I don't know if I would run Adames and Correa because like they're almost the exact same player. I'd probably just pick one of them. And go a different direction at second base. 120 in the bank. Again, that's Leo DeVry money. Like, Andy's a special insert, so you don't have to ever worry about him just losing all of his value. Like, even the Easter Jorge Polanco, I think is like still 20K now, and he cost like 80 when he came out. So, DeVry will never lose all his value. So, that's just a free shot at second base for the most part. And then you said you don't like Crochet. So, Hall of Fame doesn't like Crochet. Let's do some quick maths here. See if we can't pull somebody up. New Verlander, don't think he's going to be a great solution to that because just outlier four seam, not a bullet slider, trash curveball, not an awesome circle change, and then they gave him a sinker. They trolled. Like, cutter would have been more beneficial, I think, to his mix. So probably not the new Verlander. Card art's crazy though. Like, probably the best card art we've had all year. CC, did you have CC? No CC. I mean, it's an option. It's something to think about. Ubaldo would be good like a week from now when his price comes down, when like weekend classics going on. I don't hate Corbin Burns for like 25K. It's just like you're gonna get like the thing about Corbin Burns is you're just going to load in and see like a guy's top five contain like Ted Williams, King Griffey, and Kyle Schwarber, and you're gonna be like, why did I pitch Corbin Burns? So I'd be a little concerned with that. Any Scooball? No Scooball. I would just do Scooball. I think Scooball is a solution for you. It's just a matter of like, you know, paying attention to his pinpoint and not butchering it. But I think he would be your best pitcher. Camilo Duvall sucks. Mason Miller sucks. I would go in a different direction with those. Same old Rogers spiel. And then structure wise, it's actually a really good lineup structure. If you get DeVry, then like he probably bats like somewhere between like 6 and 2, but I like it. Or if you got DeVry, actually you could completely change this. You could bat like Beltran third, DeVry lead off, and Willie Castro second, and then like, you know, go from there. So I think DeVry solves a good amount of your issues. But I also don't know how much the All-Star Screwball is now. He's probably like 8K. All the other ones are. So we got Mojo Jojo. Okay, Hall of Fame legend. So pretty good for first year player. Trying to hit 1,000. So he likes Ted. Tips on the pin. Well, that's fine. We're running out of time, so we can do that. We can do just pin tips. A bonus Yankee squad. Yeah, I'm not going over the Yankee squad. Okay, Griffin Jack sucks. Is this a full bullpen? I guess it is. I mean, it looks fine to me. Like, I think Jack sucks, and I think Robleski can be bad at times, so I'd probably go a different direction. Maybe try the new Rogers, or just any other solid lefty for the whole year, like Andrew Miller, something like that. Might be better for you. All right. So we are at 50 minutes now. There's Kaden again. Squams. Okay. Second time, so I'm glad we're getting him in. Need help with the bullpen. Most of the cards in the game, don't know who to use. Okay. Cal for defense is crazy. Or okay. I thought you were talking about subbing in like Cal Ripken Jr. or something like that. Yeah, I don't hate this. This is a good lineup. I like it. There's a couple righties, so you know you gotta watch out for like slider pitchers, but nothing you don't already know. No DeVries? Nah, I'm getting DeVries on the lineup somehow. If I paid 100K for him, I'm getting him in the lineup. Yeah, no, you weren't kidding. Your bullpen's terrible. Waldrop is interesting. I haven't pitched him, haven't seen him yet. His pitch mix looks okay, nothing special whatsoever. I guess you have him for the stamina. I'd be curious to see if he's any better than Robleski, and he's like not glitched, but I don't know. Brock Stewart, I think, is not very good. Yeah, I think Brock Stewart is probably your weakest link here, so I'd probably go a different direction. Let's do a little better job of like giving actual answers, but I'm trying to get through as many people as possible, and that showed off my team, so. I guess I see why you have Hurston in there because he's like highest overall, but I prefer Maury Hahn. I feel like I haven't seen him in a lot. Devin Williams is still solid if you're on a higher difficulty. Let's do one more page. I can get some names in my head because everybody's kind of asking about bullpen. It's not great. Like Ottavino, you could still run Ottavino. You could still run Michael Kopech. Like a lot of these old cards are still good because of what they have fundamentally in their pitch mix. So starting staff, fine. Usual suspects. As for my CC opinion, I feel like I gave that at the start of the video, but I will recite it here. I think he's all right. Nothing special, but all right. Full-time World Series player. Don't play anymore, or okay, so he doesn't sweat. So interesting to like. Okay, I don't know. Schwarber for Trey. Corbin. Okay, let's see. Second lineup of the day with Mickey. I'm shocked I don't see him more. Like, there's nothing wrong with that Mickey Mantle. I can't believe like nobody runs him. Like if he's just not your flavor, I get it, but like he's also just crazy enough to where I think more people should have him. Don't hate the starting staff. Let's see, bullpen. Again, I think Rogers kind of scary. I think Duran sucks. Other than that, I don't mind it. And then structure-wise, Marte leadoff's crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jimmy Rollins up here, Ellie, like, you have actual leadoff hitters you could do. Like, just Griffey leadoff. If you're going to have him this high up, just swap him and Ketel Marte. There you go. I actually have some speed out there instead of getting stuck with Ketel Marte on, like, first base. All right, so we got serve. All-Star Hall of Fame to legend. Okay. I mean, let's see. Team-wise, without doing your game. Oh, I think my first tip would be minimize your lefty-lefty at-bats, which you seem to already be doing. Because you have one, and it's DH, which I said earlier. Easiest spot to swap somebody for. So, I mean, I think it's not the lineup. Let's see. Is it the pitching staff? Maybe. Because I think Kluber is trash unless you're on Legend. I think he's bad. The moment you get to Legend, there you go. I think it's Kluber time. Crochet, I don't think is good, but also I can't really name you a pitcher that's objectively better than him. I would prescribe you John Donaldson. I can't lie. Like, if all you're trying to do is make Legend, I think you are going to load into enough games where your opponent just cannot touch him. That he's just going to be a free win more times than not. So, like, a lot of people say, like, he sucks now, or, like, I hit him good every... I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Like, I think the last 2 times I've seen him, I've mashed. But it's just been on good servers. So, if you're pitching John and you end up in a bad server, like, it's just, like, okay. How many times are they going to guess right that you're throwing the forkball? Not a lot. Other than that, Yohan Duran, don't like. Rogers, again, like, potential on Legend if you want to be, like, scum of the earth, I think. But other than that, I probably wouldn't be using them. Structure-wise, what we got? It's fine, but I would want Marte or Willie Castro higher, for sure. And I'd probably end up splitting up your lefties a little more. I didn't even see Griffey. How did I not see Griffey? I thought you had, like, no lefties. I guess it was the out of position banner. Just kind of threw me off. Or I was too zoomed in on Schwarber. Yeah, so I would try to minimize that. Like, I would probably pick one of them. I would either, like, turn DH into a full-time platoon job, which it seems like maybe you already do. I don't know. But another piece of advice would be, like, I'd be really conscious about using a guy like Wenceel Perez on your bench, because in theory, he's crazy against lefties, right? But in reality, like, his clutch is really bad, so he's not always going to be a great guy to put in at the end of a game, if that makes sense. So I would just go get somebody that actually mashes lefties and has good clutch. We got Sansi Flunky. Interesting. Have to play Legend this weekend Classic. Interesting. 500k. Okay, interesting. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, the usual suspects. Nothing wrong. There's third base is so strong. I'm not running Correa, but if that's what you want to do, I don't hate it. Structure wise, pretty good. A lot of righties, some lefties. This is like take me back, man. This is like an MLB 23 lineup. Like, yeah, there was a lot of switch hitters, but, like, man, it wasn't all switch hitters. Like, take me back to the good old days. We got a man of morals here. Clay Buchholz, again, I don't know. What'd you say? Hall of Fame, gonna have to play on Legend. If you have to play on Legend, I think Buchholz can do a job. If you're not on Legend, I wouldn't be using them. W Bullpen, another Rogers. Are y'all all, like, grimy? Do I have a grimy fan base? I don't get y'all. Because he's not going to be good. Unless you pitch with him the way I described, he's not going to be good. Caleb from the stream. So we got our resident Yankee fan here. One of the many. 750, 850, have 100K right now. Okay, so he's just been swapping starters, seeing what sticks. Lineup looks really good. No complaints here. He did say he was starting Manny in the outfield, I think, in stream. So having him be like a minus outfielder to bat 7th is kind of crazy. I feel like I'd probably want to be hitting him higher to justify that, but maybe split the lefties up. Maybe just swap him and Griffey, low-key. All right, so I mean, dog, yeah, you got the same rotation as no. It's just none of them are good right now. If you had John Donaldson still in here, I would not bat an eye. That's probably the only, like, suggestion I could give, really. Randy Rodriguez, I think, is not great, but other than that, W Bullpen. All right. Dude, I want to get to all of them. I want to get to all of them, dog. I really do. But we're probably not doing this one, I guess. I don't even know what I just saw. Um, updated all money spent team. Interesting. Platoons every lefty. All right, Derek White. Let's see what you got. I mean, yeah, I guess. Not as crazy as I thought. He was kind of setting it up, but this I think was probably before DeVries and stuff came out. So I'd start Griffey probably because you're gonna get better defense, and I don't know. Are you like? I don't know. I don't know. I'd start Griffey if that's the plan. Um, change your lineup every year. I can kind of tell like there's not a lot of stuff like set in stone here. I guess DeVry was out because he's got Castro in love. Did I get difficulty? He did not mention difficulty, so I have no idea. Duran sucks. Randy Rodriguez, not a huge fan of. Structure wise, like, I don't even, is this your actual structure? Because I feel like you just, if you change cards every time, I don't even know. All right, so we got Cretin 2. Underrated term to call some derogatory term to call somebody a cretin. That's might just be a South thing, but we gotta bring cretin back. Pretty happy with the team. Looking to upgrade where possible. All right, here we go. I feel like we haven't had one like this in a minute. So W. 400K, and he's got a budget. Oh my, this is what I'm talking about. This is a lineup review here. All right, so I mean, it looks pretty good. Like, I wouldn't change too much. Probably go. I would outsource probably Acuna. So, you got money to play with. You already got DeVry. Like, I don't know if I would lock in DeVry, but I'd be working towards Willie Castro, because then you can just move Griffey to center, move Beltran over, Willie Castro, bang, there you go. Bob's your uncle and whatnot. Might be the best bullpen we've seen all night. Like, I don't mind it. Like, a lot of people have all these cards, but like they just want to jam like the highest overall ones in there. I think that's a really good bullpen. So I'm pretty happy with the team too, to be honest. I just think Willie Castro, right? Can't go wrong with Willie Castro on left. So yeah, Cretin and Cliven. Interesting. So this will probably be our last one. Or yeah, because Allen ruined it. Sending in a Braves. Is it a Braves team? Yeah, it's a Braves team. All right, we're good. Burnt out, aren't we all? Aren't we all, dog? Like, we need 10 out of 10 content for the rest of the year. I ain't even gonna lie. Got a ton of stubs. Won't sit 1,000. Raking with Correa. Bat in order. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's see. Cool, bro's just jamming in outfielders, huh? If you got Mill, I'd try out DeVry. Did we actually get bench pick? No bench pick. But see, this is the way to include your bench. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I can see it at the bottom of your lineup. So try out DeVry, man. Try out DeVry. Pick your favorite out of Griffey and Bautista. Probably bench the other one. Just put Willie in his primary. That's where he's gonna play the best anyway. He'll probably play better defense than Jose Bautista because he'll be faster after you put parallels on him. So, yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like, a lot of primary handedness hitters is what I would say. So if you are going to 1,000, you better get a bang or something. And be like, bang, crack rock, whatever your preferred method is. Because you're gonna have a lot of not so fun at bats against per se like Rogers and stuff, these high hit guys that kind of bully primary handed hitters. So that's what I would be cautious of. And then as long as you're on legend, I love Corey Kluber. I love Leiter. Clemens, you know, he's like in there by default. Burns can be good, and then CC's just always fine, I feel like. Um, Duvall I don't like, and Duran I don't like. Like, I would, okay, Lee Smith is better for showing these looks to people, I think, than Duvall. I think Class A is probably better than Duvall. And then I would probably just get like Lee Smith in for Duran. Lee Smith's kind of volatile, but like, you know, like there's nothing wrong with just having a slower cutter, and then he gives you like a fork ball, which in theory is kind of what Duran was trying to do, but he has an outlier splitter, so it's just not good. So that's what I would probably do. And then we'll do Brian. We'll do Brian. We'll do one more, but we might fly. Um okay. Don't like Edgar. Like, I'd probably still rather just run Santana than Edgar. And then to answer your question, Chipper's always going to be usable. Until there's a new Chipper, Chipper will definitely be usable. Now, to bat him ninth, I don't know. Like, if you're not that confident in him, I don't know. But you're also batting Beltron seventh, so I don't really know what you're cooking. Mason Miller sucks. Griffin Jack sucks. So I'd probably remedy that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. You know, not really a longer one, not really a shorter one, right about normal. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe. If I didn't get to your team, resubmit. I will try to do the next one in a shorter order than this one, because this is probably like a half a week overdue, and then, you know, so yeah, peace.